Jump over to Facebook. Oh, no, now your thing has gone back behind.
That's all right. I'll get it
That's all right. You don't
situated.
have to look at it right anyhow. So,
Yeah, is that it? Okay. The big one, it's like.
It's called Cathedral Basilica of the Assumption.
So we went to look at that,
Edit audience, is that what it is?
edit live video.
Edit live video, okay.
Yeah. I used to do that all the time, and I'd be like, why is it?
But yeah, we figured out changed the wording or something on here. Edit live video.
Whoops, go up. Hit settings.
You go inside there.
Yeah.
Pages you
That's what you want to think of. It's
follow.
just like.
That one, and then
Almost over the top of it, but.
On this one.
Tell me when you're ready.
There's a place out there.
I think that's good.
Okay.
You got that, sir?
Yep.
Okay.
Trains.
Mayor, it's 5:15, dear.
Christmas Eve. Wednesdays. Okay.
I'd like to call the Maysville Board of Commissioners Thursday, December 14, 2023 to order. We will begin with our invocation, Reverend Lee.
Shall we pray? Father, we come before you at the season of peace, season of joy, and the season of giving. Father, we thank you for the greatest gift that we've received. Father, we pray that we would keep our focus upon that great gift. Father, we pray as we gather here this evening that you would just allow us to be able to conduct this business in ways that is pleasing to you and beneficial to this community. Father, we thank you for our leaders. We thank you for this community. We thank you for the men and women that make this community what it is. And Father, we pray that you keep your hands of protection upon us. We ask all these things in Christ's name. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Lee. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Cartwell?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood?
Here.
Commissioner McKay? Mayor Cottrell?
Yes, ma'am.
City Manager Wallingford?
Here.
City Attorney Cottle?
Here.
Controller Augusta?
Here.
HR Director Rose?
Here.
Project Coordinator Dr. Horde?
Here.
Public Works Director King?
Here.
Police Chief Palmer?
Here.
Fire Chief Doyle?
Here.
Interim Utility Manager Spencer?
Here.
Planning and Zoning Administrator Larger?
Here.
Building Inspector Fawcett?
Here.
Codes Officer Brooks?
Here.
Tourism Director Bailey? Main Street Director Reese?
Thank you. And I'd also like to welcome County Judge Executive Owen McNeil and County Commissioner Joe McKay.
Thank you.
Minutes of November 14, 23 meeting and department reports.
Make a motion to approve.
Second, roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes.
Commissioner Cartwell?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes.
Mayor Cottrell?
Yes, ma'am. Public announcements or updates?
Well, one of our ladies is traveling back from the Kentucky Travel Industry Association, and the other one has the bug really bad. So they're not here to give any particular updates, but if you all have anything, feel free.
I would like to say that, thank everyone for the fantastic parade, the departments for all the work that you guys did, but also the folks who participated in the parade and made it magical, the folks that put into the floats. And just our town in general, I'm so proud. The Lundergan family and the lights they do, Carlson Software and how they light up the park, but also the individual homes. If you drive around our city, we're lit up, it's just beautiful. So I'm very proud that we have a magical city at Christmas time. Thank you.
I'll second that by saying we've had out-of-town company And they say the downtown is so pretty, they just want to walk up and down the streets.
I've heard that comment too.
Great. Good.
And it is. Public comment?
I have one.
Okay.
I just want to thank Kevin Doyle and his crew for what they did December the 8th with an individual that needed our help, and they got it. And the memo that came with our email that Matt sent us commended your department and your crew for a job over, beyond well done. Good job. That's what,
We'll pass that along, thank you.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Appointments, Public Works crew leaders.
This is from Public Works Director King. I would like to recommend Bentley Applegate to be promoted to mowing crew leader starting 12/18/23. Bentley has always been able to work well with the team and is very reliable to get tasks completed when assigned. I'd like to recommend Nathan Carrington to be promoted to the construction crew leader starting 12/18/23. Nathan is very knowledgeable with construction work and runs equipment well. Nathan has always been very reliable to get tasks completed when assigned. I'd like to recommend Greg Best to be promoted to flood wall crew leader as of 12/18/23. Greg has maintained the flood wall for several years and has extensive knowledge to pass on to his crew. Greg does a great job getting tasks completed in a timely manner when assigned. I'd like to recommend Travis Andrus to be promoted to building maintenance crew leader effective 12/18/23. Travis has always been very detailed in his work and is reliable to get tasks done when assigned.
I'll make that motion to approve those appointments.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer,
Absolutely, yes.
Commissioner Cartmel,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner McKay,
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Cottrell.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to say something, Mayor, if I may.
Yes, sir.
Greg, you do a great job on that flood wall.
Yeah.
On the levee.
I ain't good without, hey, but I don't do it wrong, I do with that.
Job well done. All of you. Thank you. Appointments, fire officers.
It's a memo to City Manager Matt Wallingford, Mayor Cottrell, and City Commissioners from Fire Chief Kevin Doyle. Following completion of our hiring process, it is my privilege to recommend two individuals to be appointed as firefighter paramedics for Maysville Fire Department. Josh Mallett and Robbie Bingaman both come with firefighting experience and are both nationally registered paramedics. They are both excited to be a part of our team, and I'm proud to recommend each of them for appointment.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Cartmel,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner McKay,
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Cottrell.
Yes, ma'am. Appointment, utility manager.
Mayor, real quick, Robbie, welcome back. We're glad to have you. Is Josh here?
He's not.
Okay. Really glad to have you back and appreciate your service.
I'll be back.
Yep, you got it.
Appointment, utility manager.
To Mayor and City Commissioners from City Manager Matt Wallingford, I respectfully request the appointment of Darren Spence as Utility Manager for the City of Maysville. Darren is a dedicated employee who has been with the city for 28 years and currently holds the following certifications: Drinking Water Level 4, Drinking Water Distribution Level 3, Wastewater Collection and Wastewater Treatment Level 2. With the current challenges we face in updating our utility infrastructure, as well as complying with the consent decree which mandates we separate our combined sewer system, I'm confident that Darren has the skill set, knowledge, and overall drive to help guide the city forward.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Cartmel,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner McKay,
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Cottrell.
Yes, ma'am. Congratulations. Appointments, boards and commissions.
I think we've been provided copies of those. I
I make a motion that we vote on them en masse.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do I have a second?
Second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Cartwell?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Cottrell?
Yes, ma'am. Presentation, Charles T. Cotterill Foundation.
Mayor and Commissioners, we've been, this is basically a project by the foundation to replace the hands down at the tunnel, at the trestle that are in really bad shape. They've been there since the early to mid 1990s, and the foundation has a project they would like to present to replace that art with some different artwork, and I'll let David kind of explain what they plan on doing.
Yeah, we've been looking at a project for several years to do down, at the trestle tunnel, whatever you want to call it there at Limestone Landing. Being that, a year or so ago, we got awarded that flat grant. And we're gonna be doing a lot of work on the riverfront. It seemed like a perfect time for a project like this because it had gotten in disrepair. There's things that need to be done. I've talked to CSX, all that's cleared with them. Basically, it's a project we're gonna go in, there's gonna be artwork done. And it's gonna go toward our community, things that's in the community, the Maysville, whether it's boat traffic, barge traffic, Buffalo, some of it's gonna be historic. It's all gonna be related to Maysville. We're gonna go in as far as the city's part, which we were gonna do anyway, remove those hands as best as we can. Try to contact, if somebody's interested in those hands, families, children that did that 30 years ago, try to save and preserve all those, and then clean that up, fix the top of it where there's some deteriorated pieces, and as much boat traffic as we have now with the river boats, and it's gonna be increased once this other project's done. We figure like this is gonna be a great project, and the best part, it's all gonna be totally funded. The only thing we've got is the time we were gonna spend on it anyway, so. Basically, it's gonna be designed and presented, there's gonna be a collaboration of University of Kentucky is gonna help with it. Students from Mason County, St. Pat, intermediate school age kids, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade. There's gonna be these sand blocks, resin sand blocks that they're gonna have them do and help with. They're gonna each gonna have a little drawing. They have to sketch out on this sand. They're all gonna be numbered. There's 1,300 of them total. So there's several of them. Some of them may do two, But once they do these sand blocks, they're gonna bring in a mobile foundry of metal. They're gonna be metal plaque. They'll pour the metal in those blocks and they make a pattern. Each one of these will be placed on the wall. So that's and they're gonna do all this. I mean, this is all part of the project, We're preparing it, they're putting it up. The squares will be approximately 6" by 6". It takes 4 of them to make a 12-foot, 12-inch square. But all those will be placed in a pattern. It's gonna be 26 feet long on each side, 6 feet tall on each side of the tunnel. The top of it, I think we're gonna cover with maybe composite type of decking, some type of material that'll match the color of whatever the metal color is gonna be. We're not for sure what that's gonna be. But basically, it's a process where the community's involved, the kids are involved, we're involved. They're gonna have workshops for the kids, to let them learn how to do that, the sand blocks and the foundry part too. It's gonna be a great project. It's fully funded. The timeline they got for it right now is talking to you guys here in December. December through February, we'll begin ordering supplies and the prep work and a workshop. March will be to complete the carvings and begin castings. And April and May be finished, and then May they'll install them on the wall, basically. So that's kind of where that project's at.
That sounds like a win-win situation.
Good project.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Dave. Thanks, Dave.
Discussion, Evac membership.
So last month, Jason Kofelt from Air Evac came in and presented some information to you all about their services. And he stopped in and saw me a couple weeks ago and provided me with some pricing. So I wanted to run this by you all just to get your thoughts. I've been talking to the admin staff and the 4 big departments, what they think of it. Just from what I can gather from the numbers I've put together with Jason, we would fall into the category between 3 and 149 employees. And we're talking full-time employees and what I would call full-time part-time. In other words, they work all year round, but they're part-time employees. They're not seasonal. If you look at a 3-year package, it would cost, and bear with me, it would cost the city $26,325. A 5-year package is $39,825. And a 10-year package is $78,975. Now, I see this as almost like an insurance plan, a benefit. So I feel like, in my opinion, the employee should pay for it. And if you break it down, it's pretty darn good. If the 3-year plan, it would cost an employee $2.50 out of each paycheck. The 5-year plan would cost $2.27 out of each paycheck.
To what?
$2.27. 10-year plan would cost $2.25 out of each paycheck. It's 26 paychecks a year. It's my understanding that without insurance, and Commissioner, you or one of your children get injured in an accident and they have to get flown out, you have no insurance, it costs you probably close to $50,000 out of pocket. Now, with our insurance, depending on what plan you have, you would owe your deductible, and then your co-insurance would kick in. So we kind of guesstimated somewhere maybe between $6,000 and $10,000 out of pocket, Rhonda, is what it would cost with our insurance right now. But if we participate in this, it costs nothing. Now, I asked Jason if they do proration, if they would prorate it like from January 1st to June 30th. I haven't gotten anything back, so I feel like this is something we would look at budget time, because we would need to add this as a budget item with the cost, but then we would recoup our costs from the employee. So we would front it and get that really good pricing, and then the employee would essentially pay us back. It's my understanding, this is offered individually, and I think it's $140 a year, something like that, if an individual wanted to do it.
So if the employee just wanted to pay for the whole year, even if we had a city plan.
I've got that too, Commissioner, and I only broke down the 3-year. The 3-year, if you wanted to pay that off in 12 months, would be $7.50 a paycheck. And that would pay off that entire $26,325. But what would
3-year, you'd pay it in 1 year.
you could? I mean, you could pay it back in 1 year. But what we would do is, Lisa retires, she leaves, and we hire somebody else. She would go off, but the next person coming in would start paying into it. So we wouldn't lose anything.
Right.
I mean, personally, I think it's great, especially for that price to an employee. And the polling that I've done, and I know Chief, you've polled your departments. I've talked to Public Works yesterday, talked to admin on Tuesday. Very positive feedback on it. So since I didn't get any prorated numbers for January 1 through June 30th, this is something we'll need to revisit come March or April for budget. But in my mind, it's a no-brainer. I mean, for that cost. I mean, yes, sir.
Would it be possible to send us that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Be glad to. Yeah, be glad to. So that's kind of my
you will not
opinion.
give him a definite answer.
I have not given, no, I have not given him anything. And I told Jason, I said, Jason, this may be something where we may need to revisit it March or April. And if your pricing has changed, just let me know.
So he's good with that.
Yeah, he understands.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Discussion motion, Maysville River Park.
We briefly talked about this back when we were working on the restaurant that is, on the floating restaurant that's coming to town. We just finished up the third year of a possible 5-year lease with our current tenants, Rick and Marcia Monteith. But I just need to know from you all if you want to bid it out or if we remain as is. That's it. That's all I have on that one.
So how is the current, what is our current contract or agreement?
The current agreement is, well, we will be going into the 4th year. And according to the lease, the city may renew the lease by giving written notice to the tenant by January 15th. Any season may be terminated by either party giving 30 days notice.
Man, I would prefer that we open it up to bids, put it out for bid. If the guy that has the restaurant wants to bid, he can bid it. That's just my preference.
Is that a mo?
I'm
Is that
sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said, my preference is that we go ahead and put it out for bid. And if the guy with the restaurant wants to submit a bid,
Sure.
he can submit a bid.
That's all I need to know, because before we started doing the 5-year, we would start discussing it about this time, and I'd get the bid out late January so that we could do a bid opening in February, so whoever got it will be prepared to open up April 1st. Is that the consensus? You want a motion on that, you
Yeah.
think? Okay. Motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
to put it out.
Okay. Second.
I'll second.
Okay, there we go. Sorry.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes.
Commissioner Carmel?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay? Mayor Cottrell?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I have a minute?
Yes.
Matt, since we're talking about.
Yeah.
the park,
Uh-huh.
You and I talked last summer, I think, or this past summer about, I remember I asked you if there was any way that we could sell that, and you said you would look into that, but you didn't think we could.
I don't think we can, because we own it, but all of the approvals a lot of the stuff goes through the Corps, correct? Because of the backwaters and everything.
Yeah, and the marina, and, the boat dock.
We can't sell.
I don't think we can. Yeah, you did ask me about that,
And
yes, sir.
roadways on there.
All right, well, Matt, I talked about it,
Yeah.
and someone asked me about it. I put it out, let them know, and I'll let you know, so. Thank you.
Discussion, holiday cleanup.
Yes, it's becoming that time of year, and, gosh, Luke, I'm sitting here trying to remember the dates I gave.
22nd through January 5th.
Thank you. December 22nd through January 5th. Something I want to pick your brains on, though, real quick. I bet everybody sitting up here has seen it or heard it. A lot of us here have. When we set these dumpsters out around town, we know we've got people from out of this community who are utilizing them.
Yeah.
What would you all think about putting them all out at Public Works? Because we lock the gate, we lock the gate, and for that, what are those, 10 days? We could have them in a spot, and we would have an employee for those 10 days, making sure, yes, making sure that, because we know people
And
are
there should
abusing
be
them.
signs on. Signs,
Signs,
yes,
that's
for.
for the Maysville residents only.
Only, yeah.
I mean, you know,
Tell them they're
yeah,
on
it's a lot
camera.
easier to drive 2 blocks to dump your stuff, but you still gotta pack it in your car anyway, or your truck. Whatever y'all wanna do, but I think it will really cut down
I'm okay with that.
on the riffraff. Cause I know we're getting people from out of town and outside of the city that are utilizing a service that's for our citizens.
Well, and they don't care if somebody dumped 5 gallons of paint down on West Second Street and it dripped all the way down the road.
Is that gonna be closed at 4:30? Back on the gate at 4:30?
At 3:30, but we would have it open on Saturdays.
Those days.
Yeah.
You know, the guys that are there, they can say, look, you can't put this in there, you can throw that in.
That we can keep a closer eye on what's going on.
I agree with that because
To those
our
unions,
residents go to dump at the dumpsters and they're full.
So is everybody okay with that? If we just have it set out there? Okay, got one.
Do we have any idea of what percentage is being misused or anything like that? I mean,
We don't, because we don't have anybody, Commissioner, at each dumpster monitoring. You know, we've got what, probably a dozen spread out all over town.
they're used though a lot, right? I mean.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
filled up.
Oh, I mean, he's,
They'll bring it
Every
at
other day.
nighttime.
yeah, yeah.
They'll bring it.
You're dumping them every day, aren't you? Pretty
You've got,
much.
you've got 3 or 4 at IGA.
Yeah.
Commissioner Wood, you've got 3
Twice a
or 4
day.
You've got 3 or 4 up at IGA that it
Right.
seems like people are just watching, and when they're done, you go up there that afternoon, they're full.
Well, and the other thing that we have a problem with, and I think Chief Palmer will tell you that Chris Neal has seen it up there, people going through it. People going through the dumpsters and,
The one at Wall Street stays full. It's full early in the morning because they've dumped it all night.
We'll dump them twice or 3 times.
I know you do.
On Saturday, Sunday, no matter what day it is, we'll dump them 2 or 3 times a day.
Well, there's a lot of construction debris on West Second. I
On
mean, they
West
load that
Second?
thing up.
There's everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
So that one.
Couches, chairs.
A casket.
Yeah.
What did you all do with the coffin?
I do not know, but I guess,
probably buried in the land.
That would have been a great Halloween prop.
I guess it's with everything else.
It was not real.
Is everybody okay with that?
I know where, it was not real.
I come back as is, to be honest with you. I mean, to me, the fact that they're filled up is proof that it's moving. And it's probably where they're located. I mean,
Okay, so I got a no. I got a yes. I just need a consensus.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, Mayor?
I'm going to leave them in the neighborhood.
Okay, well, it's 3-2 to leave them as is. Okay, that's all I wanted to know. So,
and I'm not saying I'm not open in the future.
absolutely it's subject to change. Absolutely it's subject to
Right,
change.
I get it.
So 12/22 through January 5th, appliances at Public Works and down at the police station. No tires, even though we'll unfortunately get them.
Did you
22nd,
do the?
January 5th.
Through March what?
January 5th. You got a project going on.
I can't hear.
It's,
Go ahead,
I
Commissioner.
forgot what I was trying to ask
If you think of it, let's.
you. No, I'm just saying, if you hear, or you're down there and somebody's dumping, and you know, they'll tell you, because they'll tell you. What do? Nothing? You can do nothing?
Dumping what? Stuff in their.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah, there was a guy from Foster down at her place there. He
Yeah.
said, I think Maysville's the greatest city in
In
the
the
state.
world.
Oh, that's right, that's what you told me. We can get some signs put up that says what's permitted in there.
Yeah.
Is that gonna keep somebody when they come down there at 9 o'clock at night? No, but
If we
it's,
see someone's putting something in there that they shouldn't be putting.
And maybe it should say that it's theft of it could constitute theft of services if they're not Maysville residents and if it's not residential waste, I mean, I think we should improve on what we're doing now instead of take it away, just because of some bad actors.
all right, thank you all for your input.
Discussion and resolution fire engine.
Okay, we briefly talked about this, Chief Doyle talked about this during one of our budget sessions, for this current fiscal year, and I'm gonna turn it over to him.
Well, again, we originally had this on as a discussion because there was a little bit of confusion about some things with, once we had the bid opening. I think we cleared all that up, and if I'm not mistaken, Kelly has a resolution for acceptance of bid. We can start there.
You want, real quick though, you want just a couple sentences on why? I mean, because of the 2-year, I mean, that's the kicker.
Yeah, so this is, as you all know, this is a 2-year build time on this truck. So we won't see this truck until late '25. So we're looking at the FYE budget before this is actually paid for. So even though we have to accept a bid now, this will actually be paid for in about 2 years.
Well, Chief, I think it's suffice to say that if it's going up to 6% January the 1st, that we need to go ahead and lock it in.
That's what we know for sure, is that it will go up 6% January 1, and then how long it will go, we have no idea what it's gonna do.
Okay.
Thanks, Chief. Go ahead, Kelly.
A resolution awarding bid for a fire engine. Whereas the city of Maysville advertised for bids in accordance with plans and specifications as follows. Fire engine / pumper advertised on October 27, 2023. Bid opening November 6, 2023. Whereas the following bid was the only bid received, All-American Fire Equipment, $774,499. Whereas the city manager and fire chief have recommended the acceptance of the bid of All-American Fire Equipment as the best bid. Now therefore be it resolved by the city of Maysville, Kentucky as follows. The bid from All-American Fire Equipment for a fire engine in the sum of $774,499 for the subject contract described above is accepted on behalf of the city of Maysville. The mayor is hereby authorized and directed forthwith to execute all contractual documents necessary to effectuate acceptance of said bid and to consummate the contract on behalf of the city of Maysville.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Cartwell?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Cottrell?
Yes, ma'am. Municipal order holiday pay.
Municipal order amending City of Maysville personnel policies and procedure manual regarding holiday pay. Whereas the City of Maysville wishes to amend its policies and procedures regarding holiday pay for essential employees, now therefore be it ordered as follows. The City of Maysville personnel policies and procedures is amended to state the following. Essential employees. There are essential government functions and services that are expected to continue to operate during holidays. Essential employees are non-exempt employees whose roles are critical to the provision of essential municipal services, such as public works personnel, utility workers, and other designated positions. Essential non-exempt employees required to work on an unscheduled holiday will be compensated at a rate of time and a half for all hours worked, in addition to 8 hours of straight time for the holiday, regardless of the number of hours worked that week. Additionally, employees must physically work to obtain overtime pay of more than 40 hours. Holiday hours do not count towards overtime compensation. Holidays. The city of Maysville will adhere to the designated holiday schedule for the Commonwealth of Kentucky. The schedule will be posted annually on the city's website for employees' reference. Police and fire departments follow the date of the actual holiday. Any hourly employee who physically works during a scheduled holiday shall receive double the regular rate of pay times the hours worked during the holiday.
I'll second it for discussion. Is this just for the police and the fire department?
No.
Or anybody who works on an actual holiday?
No, this is for non-exempt essential employees who get called out to an unforeseen event on a holiday. Could be a water main break on Christmas Eve, could be severe storms that go through on July 4th. This is strictly for holidays only.
Okay.
And it's unscheduled time.
Yes, correct, unscheduled time.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Cartwell?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Cottrell?
Yes, ma'am. Resolution authorizing rehire of retired police officer Chris Neal, 23-63.
Resolution authorizing rehiring of retired police officer, be it resolved by the city of Maysville, Kentucky, that the mayor is hereby authorized and directed to execute the contract for rehire with retired officer Chris Neal for full-time for a period of 1 year, effective on December 1, 2023 through November 30th, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes.
Commissioner Cartwell?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Cottrell?
Yes, ma'am. Resolution authorizing rehire of retired police officer Jeffrey Ward, 23-65.
Resolution authorizing rehiring of retired police officer, be it resolved by the city of Maysville, Kentucky, that the mayor is hereby authorized and directed to execute the contract for rehire with retired officer Jeffrey Horde for a full-time for a period of 1 year, effective September 1, 2023 through August 31st, 2024.
Was we supposed to have done this in second for discussion? Was we should have done this in September?
Yes, but we've already checked with the retirement board. They're fine.
Okay.
They're okay.
Okay.
They're okay with everything.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Cartwell?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Cottrell?
Yes, ma'am. Resolution authorizing the annual letter of commitment for the Kentucky Main Street Program, 23-64.
Resolution authorizing annual letter of commitment for the Kentucky Main Street Program. Whereas the city of Maysville, Kentucky realizes the importance of participating in the Kentucky Main Street Program, and whereas the city is required to execute an annual letter of commitment providing that it will employ a local Main Street director, maintain an organization focused on downtown revitalization, budget necessary funds, provide reports, attend training, maintain a historic preservation ethic, and maintain community support. Now therefore be it resolved by the city of Maysville, Kentucky, that the mayor, chair of the Renaissance Committee, and Main Street director are hereby authorized and directed to execute and deliver the annual letter of commitment required for certification by the Kentucky Main Street Program.
I'll
So
make
moved.
that motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Cartwell?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Cottrell?
Yes, ma'am. Resolution authorizing KIA wastewater funding, 23-66.
Resolution authorizing for filing of loan application and appointing appropriated local government official and successors entitled as official project representative of federally assisted wastewater revolving fund. Whereas the city of Maysville proposes to provide upgraded sanitary sewer service for industrial, institutional, commercial, and residential growth in the Maysville area. And whereas the city of Maysville endorses said proposed service, whereas under the terms of Title VI of the Water Quality Act of 1987 and amendments to KRS 224A, the state is authorized to render financial assistance to eligible project applicants by way of capitalization grants from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency and state match funds comprising the federally assisted wastewater revolving fund, state revolving loan program, established to aid in the construction of wastewater treatment facilities, improvements, and certain related facilities, with consideration for approval to be based on applications submitted through the Kentucky Energy and Environment Cabinet and the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority. And whereas the improvements proposed for construction by the city of Maysville within the Maysville area are considered eligible for such loan assistance. Now therefore be it resolved by the city of Maysville that the mayor and successor in title are hereby authorized to execute and submit an application through the Kentucky Energy and Environment Cabinet and the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority with such assurances and required supporting data as is necessary to obtain loan assistance from the federally assisted wastewater revolving fund, state revolving loan program for the proposed wastewater treatment facilities improvements, and are hereby authorized as the city of Maysville official project representative to carry out necessary negotiations for and administer the loan assistance the applicant may obtain from the federally assisted wastewater revolving fund, state revolving loan program. It's a mouthful.
so moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Cartwell?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes.
Mayor Cottrell?
Yes, ma'am. Resolution authorizing KIA water funding 23-67.
Resolution authorizing for filing of loan application and appointing appropriate aided local government official and successors entitled as official project representative of federally assisted drinking water revolving fund. Whereas the city of Maysville proposes to provide upgraded drinking water service for industrial, institutional, commercial, and residential growth in the Maysville area, and whereas the city of Maysville endorses the proposed service, whereas under the terms of the Safe Drinking Water Act amendments of 1996 and amendments to KRS 224A, the state is authorized to render financial assistance to eligible project applicants by way of capitalization grants from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency and state match funds comprising the federally assisted drinking water revolving fund, state revolving loan program. The program is established to aid in construction of drinking water treatment facilities, improvements, and certain related facilities with consideration for approval to be based on applications submitted through the Kentucky Energy and Environment Cabinet and Kentucky Infrastructure Authority. Whereas the improvements proposed for the construction of the city of Maysville within the city area are considered eligible for such loan assistance. Now therefore be it resolved by the city of Maysville that the mayor and successors in title are hereby authorized to execute and submit an application through the Kentucky Energy and Environment Cabinet and the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority with such assurances and required supporting data as is necessary to obtain loan assistance from the federally assisted drinking water revolving fund for the proposed water treatment facilities improvements, and are hereby authorized as the city of Maysville official project representative to carry out necessary negotiations for and administer the loan assistance an applicant may obtain from federally assisted drinking water revolving fund, state revolving loan fund.
So moved. Thank you, Jeff.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Cartwell?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Cottrell?
Yes, ma'am. Resolution accepting bid for a slope mower 23-68.
Resolution awarding bid for Slope Master 6 HD 60 remote slope mower. Whereas the city of Maysville advertised for bids in accordance with plans and specifications as follows. A Slope Master HD 60 remote slope mower. B, advertised on December 1, 2023. C, bid opening on December 11, 2023. Whereas the following bids were received. Brown Equipment, 60-inch cut, Kawasaki, $68,500. To Slope Master Innovation, 60-inch cut, 35 horsepower, Kawasaki, $46,999. Slope Master Innovations, 60-inch cut, 24 horsepower, Kawasaki, $39,999. Whereas the city manager and public works director have recommended the acceptance of the bid of Slope Master Innovations as the best bid. Now therefore be it resolved by the city of Maysville, Kentucky as follows. The bid for Slope Master Innovations for the Slope Master 60-inch remote slope mower in the sum of $39,999.
Well, should have been 46,000.
That was the one that y'all picked. I thought you said.
No, I'm sorry. The 46,999. Sorry, Kelly.
Okay. I thought y'all said.
No, the other one had a smaller engine on it.
Okay. In the amount of $46,999 for the subject contract described above is hereby accepted on behalf of the city of Maysville. The mayor is hereby authorized and directed forthwith to execute all contractual documents necessary or appropriate to effectuate acceptance of said bid and to consummate the contract on behalf of the city of Maysville.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Oh,
Commissioner Brammer?
wait a minute. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had something to add, but go ahead. And if they need a minute, they can.
Commissioner Brammer?
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Commissioner Cartwell?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
We
Mayor
should
Cottrell.
say something off of his votes.
No, not at all. What I was gonna say to you is, that's a great price. These guys have checked it out. We had, I think I told you 110. We actually had $130,000 budgeted. I'd like to ask for 2. That would be a total of $93,998.
Do we need to amend that?
No, I don't think, no. We're taking the lowest bid and taking it times two if we wanted to buy two.
Is it
We're still
available?
taking the lowest
Are two
bid.
available?
I'm sorry.
Are two available?
They have to, yes, they have to be custom built. They're custom built.
Did we budget to?
You budgeted 130
Okay.
For one.
for one, but we can get two for well under that. I say that because number one, we can at times, and Greg can chime in, we can use two on the flood wall.
Yes.
And there's times where these guys have other areas on Fifth Street, Sixth Street, Maple Leaf, Washington, where they could be using one as well. Greg, go ahead.
When we budget this, we pretty much budget for another cut quick, which the employees has got to ride it. And it's rough riding. I mean, it's dangerous, very dangerous. I mean, I've slid off the wall several times with it. We've had guys sent to ER on it. So it's a 72-inch cut. So we're actually making a smaller cut. So if we can get two of them for what we get one for, it's gonna do a whole lot better. Your guys, safety wise,
Safety's the key.
I think once every 4 years, we used to get these every 4 years. We used to budget them every 4 years. We got out of that. After 4 years, them cut quicks, you start putting money in, money after money after money. These mowers here, what he showed us, what he explained to us, you can rebuild that whole undercarriage and everything, I'd say less than $1,500. So we're gonna be money ahead. On safety wise, it's gonna be out of question. I mean, if that motor goes in the water, we'll take the winch, pull it out, drain it, go on.
What
Don't
you-
have to send nobody to the ER.
What'd you do when the cut quick went for the swim? What'd you use?
Cook with. What I use,
To pull it out.
Well, you had to wait until it was fixed to
Yes.
keep
Yeah.
cutting? Okay.
I mean, them cut quicks, they have done the job for several years. Don't get me wrong, but they are a dangerous machine, and very few employees out there will actually get on them machines.
And it's
So,
not some quick.
Kelly, do we need to have a second, or do we need to redo that resolution? or-
So, I mean, this read as, a bid for one, so let me,
Well, I guess could we,
can I just reread it? Or I'm sorry, go ahead.
well, what I was gonna say is, if you're all good with this, order one, and we could always rebid it and go after another one.
Yeah, we've got enough time for spring, right?
We do. I think two makes a lot of sense because, especially if you're using,
By spring will be the same price.
I
So we'll
don't,
get it back on the bid for two.
yeah, I would bid it right out quickly.
How about I just,
I mean, I personally think because it's, that's fine, I'm good with
Do
it.
that.
That's fine with me. I'm good with it, if he is.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to go on and get two. I think it makes sense.
No, I think the fact that it was bid and we received the bids
Yes.
is legal.
Okay.
But we should, take action to buy two instead of one.
Okay,
So
sounds good.
resolution awarding bid for Slope Master HD 60-inch remote two mowers. Whereas the city of Maysville advertised for bids in accordance with plans and specifications as follows. Two Slope Master HD 60 remote slope mowers advertised on December 1, 2023, bid opening on December 11th, 2023. Whereas the following bids were received: Brown Equipment, $68,500. Slope Master Innovations for a 35 horsepower, $46,999. Slope Master Innovations for a 24 horsepower, $39,999. Whereas the city manager and public works director have recommended acceptance of the bid of Slope Master Innovations as the best bid. Now, for the 35 horsepower machines, now therefore be it resolved by the city of Maysville, Kentucky as follows. The bid for Slope Master Innovations for two Slope Master HD 60 remote slope mowers in the sum of $46,999 for the subject contract described above is hereby accepted on behalf of the city of Maysville. Two, the mayor is hereby authorized and directed forthwith to execute all contractual documents necessary or appropriate to effectuate acceptance of said bids and to consummate the contract on behalf of the city of Maysville.
Thank you, Kelly.
Yes, sir.
so moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer,
Yes.
Commissioner Cartmel,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner McKay,
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Cottrell.
Yes, ma'am. Resolution authorizing, start that again. Resolution accepting the bid for Boys and Girls Club Trail 23-69.
A resolution awarding bid for Tom Browning Boys and Girls Club Walking Trail addition to Maple Leaf. Whereas the city of Maysville advertised for bids in accordance with plans and specifications as follows. A, Tom Browning Boys and Girls Club Walking Trail addition to Maple Leaf, advertised on December 1, 2023, bid opening December 12, 2023. Whereas the following bids were received. Number one, Independent Excavating, Inc., $169,473. Two, T&K Paving, $127,700. Whereas the city manager and projects coordinator have recommended the acceptance of the bid of T&K Paving as the best bid. Now therefore be it resolved by the city of Maysville, Kentucky as follows. One, the bid for T&K Paving for the Tom Browning Boys and Girls Club Walking Trail addition to Maple Leaf in the sum of $127,700 for the subject contract described above is hereby accepted on behalf of the city of Maysville. Two, the mayor is hereby authorized and directed forthwith to execute all contractual documents necessary or appropriate to effectuate acceptance of said bid and to consummate the contract on behalf of the city of Maysville.
So moved.
Second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Cartmel,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner McKay,
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Cottrell.
Yes, ma'am. Resolution to rename a portion of Commerce Street to Nick Clooney Way, 23-70.
Resolution to rename the portion of Commerce Street from East Second Street to the flood wall as Nick Clooney Way. Whereas Nicholas Joseph Clooney was born in Maysville, Kentucky on January 13, 1934 and resided in the area of Commerce Street. Nick, as he is known, served as a corporal in the United States Army and was a disc jockey in the American Forces Network in Germany. A well-known journalist in Kentucky and Ohio, Nick started his broadcast career with WKYT-TV out of Lexington in 1958. He then moved to Ohio to host his own TV show, The Nick Clooney Show, in Columbus, and then for WCPO-TV in Cincinnati, and ultimately for WKRC-TV. In 1975, Nick became the news director for WKRC-TV, and he became well-known on national television as a host and researcher for the cable channel American Movie Classics, where he introduced and presented backgrounds of classic movies. And whereas in 2006, Nick, along with his son George, traveled to Darfur, Sudan to film a documentary called A Journey to Darfur, he became an activist for Darfur, I'm sorry, I'm saying that wrong, and did several rallies at local high schools in Ohio and Kentucky, and was the host of the Dayton Literary Peace Prize awards in 2007 and 2008. In 2008, he joined the faculty at American University in Washington, D.C. as a distinguished journalist, and he holds an honorary degree from the University of Kentucky. Now therefore be it resolved by the city of Maysville, Kentucky, that the section of Commerce Street between East Second Street and the flood wall is hereby renamed Nick Clooney Way.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Cartmel,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner McKay,
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Cottrell.
Yes, ma'am. Before we get to the closed session, is there anything else to come before this commission? Okay, closed session pursuant to KRS 61.8101B, deliberation on the future acquisition of property.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Cartmel,
Oh. Good.
Is it possible
Yes.
to squeeze in before you go?
Yeah, Bruce, come up here. Yeah, that's fine. Bruce, if you don't mind, just state your name for the record.
Bruce Crossan, resident of Maysville. Just a few things to bring up. I wonder if you all agree in terms of downtown. in terms of our precious downtown. I've lived here, you ready for this? 47 years. I moved here in December 1976. It's December 2023. 47 years. And I've watched our downtown over 47 years. It's a beautiful downtown, mostly built up on 1915. That's when the income tax really hit hard. It came in about 1911, really hit hard in 1915. It all stopped. It all stopped. What's happened in the last 47 years? Do you agree with me that the only development I've seen from the private sector, not funded by some grant or like our Maysville High School project, some government-connected thing, is 6 different people or organizations. Clay Hedgecock, Norbert Gallenstein, Patty North, Chan Warner, Gary Lundergan, Carlson Software. That's it. That's it. That's sad. That's sad. 6 different individuals or groups is all that's going on downtown. Name something else. Please, before I go on, name something else that's significant from the private sector.
Are you talking about rehabbing?
Downtown.
Rehabbing buildings
The
downtown?
core downtown that we try to advertise to bring in tourism, name something else besides those 6 groups or individuals. It's sad. 47 years. I only got started in 2003 because I said, what's happening? Where's it going? Who's doing anything? So we did the Bishop's Table, we did the courtyard there, we did our park, we did Kenton's. We renovated the old Ace Hardware building, but then these others did various things. I love Caproni's. I love what Jerry's doing to the old, is that a Cardinal place? Did you call that a Cardinal?
Courthouse.
Across from the post office. He's doing a great job. That's it, folks. 6 of significance. We failed, haven't we? Anybody want to answer that? The private sector is not investing. And I hear that Clay Hedgecock is being stopped by somebody, maybe somebody in this room, developing on 4th Street, on the old 68 going up. I stood with him looking over the river, looking over the town. I said, Bruce, they're stopping me. You know, I've done a lot for the town, but I think they're going to shut me down here. So your goal is to break the spirit of the very little bit of private initiative and investment that is left.
So why are we stopping?
He's a dear friend of mine. He's never known me.
Why are we
He's
stopping?
told me that. Why don't you ask him? Why don't you go to him and say, Clay, what's going on your 4th Street development? Ask him. Ask him, please.
We're not doing
Victor
anything.
McKay, ask him. He's a friend of yours. He told that to me. Sitting there, we're both floating in our arms, looking over the Ohio River on 4th Street. He bought the land next to, it's where the old Maysville Academy was allowed by the city to fall to the ground and be torn down. Thank you very much. We have a nice little marker there from the National Register. It's on the National Register, but it fell to the ground and you tore it down. We stood there looking over the river, and he said, "They're stopping me."
We're not stopping him. We're not stopping him.
Well,
He's
tell
not
me
even
what's
doing
going
it.
on then.
That's his property. He can do what he wants.
He told me he's being stopped. He's being stopped by regulations.
Jim, are we stopping him?
He's never contacted me about one thing with that property.
I
Once.
don't believe it.
So,
I
well,
don't believe it.
I believe him.
He's applied here, and he's been
Are you
stopped.
calling me a liar, Mr. Chris? Are
Well,
you saying I'm lying to you?
I don't know you, but I know Clay, and he says he's being stopped.
So,
You're saying,
I'll be glad.
so
to
you're
show
saying
you
he's
my
decided,
records.
let me get
No
this
one's
straight,
contacted
he's
me
decided
about-
not to invest.
I'm saying no one's contacted me about building on that property.
Not
Period.
a single person
Period.
has contacted us about building on that property.
What property are you talking about?
I'm talking about, I know the property you're talking about. And I think you're.
A series of lots along
Yes,
Upper Fork.
and I think you're remiss to take into account people like Tom and Barb Clark, who have done property downtown.
What?
People like
Which
Sean
property?
George.
Which property?
Mechanics Row, they've got Airbnb. Sean and Christy George have Airbnb.
But in terms of the bigger picture, I named the top 6.
Do you want me to
Would
go
you not
force
agree?
somebody to
Would you
develop
not
their
agree
property?
I've named the top 6?
I commend those top 6, but don't sit here and say that other people have not invested in
They've
downtown.
invested, but it's not a whole lot. The town hasn't changed since 1976, since I moved here. Hardly.
We have a $13
Folks, it
million
hardly has changed.
We have a $13 million investment in healthcare coming to the Brown Medical Building.
Browning Medical Building. Okay, I'm looking forward to that because it's ugly as sin as it is right now. Excuse me.
Got me there.
I built a stained glass window in Kenton's to hide it and to sort of blur it.
We'll be 12.
And it actually looks better blurred. It looks better blurred. I'm just talking reality, folks. This is the reality of Maysville. This is the reality of, yes, sir.
George, Florida. Yeah. Has Clay Hitchcock approached you about building up their townhomes, single-family dwellings, or anything?
I haven't heard anything about those properties in a few years.
This is strange because I've seen Clay renovate so many homes. He's renovated, as you all know, many homes, and he's done a good job. And he's committed to renovation. So what you're all saying to me is Clay talking to me, I guess, was a little bit of distortion. So I guess I'm hearing distortion because this is exactly what you're hearing.
We have
So
not
I'm
stopped
hearing- I'm
anything.
hearing distortion.
We haven't stopped anything. We'd be more than happy to work with Clay.
Matt, I was stopped 6 times building the park. Explain that downtown. It needs to come out in the open. I was stopped 6 times. Somebody brought in ICE. I had people who looked Hispanic. And ICE interviewed 9 different stonemasons building the cobblestone driveway down. One went to the jail in Ripley that night. At least 8 of them had their proper papers. Why the hell did this town bring in ICE? I was, the workman's compensation came in and interviewed 5 of the.
ICE, a federal agency.
ICE was there. You cannot deny it. ICE was there.
I know what ICE is. I have never called ICE, and I have no recollection.
I don't say you called ICE. Possibly some person in this room who goes unnamed called ICE. No, listen, you all need to hear the truth. You need to hear the truth.
Speak to us. Don't raise your voice and yell at us. Speak to
You know
us,
what?
sir.
I will speak to you.
Thank you.
Why was ICE there?
I have no idea. I did not
You
call
don't,
ICE.
nobody knows. And they hear no?
No.
Who called in ICE?
I didn't call
Why
ICE.
would ICE,
Ask them.
why would ICE discover that we had 9 Hispanic-looking master stonemasons putting a beautiful cobblestone alley down by our, you know why nothing happens here? Matt, don't be naive. All I hear from people who try to do things here is their goal is to stop us, Andrew. The goal is to stop us. It all comes to me. Everybody says, Bruce, what's going on with this city? What's going on with the city? It all comes into me and I have to hear it. But you know what? I fought through it. I dealt with the ICE visit and it stopped the work for a while. I dealt with the workman's compensation visit that also stopped Leo McKay doing the work across. I'm McKay. You know, talk to Leo. He's your brother, isn't he? Talk to Leo. He was stopped. Oh, well, I guess you don't like him. Public record, does he have to? No, you're going to say it? Go ahead, Victor. This is serious because nothing's happening here because this town will try to stop people like myself who try to develop. How is it possible that I was stopped 6 times building that park? That should be a shame for everybody in this room. A source of shame, Mrs. Carter.
A lot of the things that you are talking about, we can't respond to because we weren't here involved.
David Hartnell was here.
And
He knows all about it. He knows I was stopped. Workman's compensation, come on, Dave, stop. Workman's compensation came in. The lady from Workman's Comp, Leo told me directly, he asked her, he was in a car with her, sitting in the back seat, why'd you come in? How'd you know I was starting my project across my work? David Cardinal sent me. Fact, that's what Leo said, you're gonna have to deal with it and
No,
confront your
you are
brother.
gonna have to deal with that, Bruce.
No, but he said that to me. Dave, he said that to me, that's my
You
only
will have to
information,
deal with
I'm
this.
researching it.
Please.
So maybe.
But that's what I was told.
Yeah, we have a limit, a time limit on public comment. We're about.
Okay, well,
10
here's,
minutes beyond.
I'll finish with this. Okay, I'll finish with this, but here's the point. People are stopped development. I was stopped 6 times. And here's what I plan to be doing. And maybe I'll be stopped again. 3 things. I'm trying to renovate the Reed House. And I'm putting a lot of money in. And I want to make a public property open. Maybe as a bed and breakfast. Maybe as a tavern, which it originally was. It was called the Newgate Tavern. Could I return it to its original use? But that's zoned, George Wilder.
So single
That
family-
is zoned
Single family
single
residential.
family residential.
So you
But
wouldn't be able to do
originally
a tavern
was.
without a rezoning.
I know, I might have to go to rezoning, but you may be able to stop me.
Why would I?
He can't stop you.
Why would you not? Yes, he can, because he has the power.
Do you know who has the ultimate power to stop a rezoning? Those 5 right there.
They might stop.
The planning commission will make a recommendation to them. The planning commission will stop you. He has no administrative authority to stop you on a rezoning. They have the ultimate
So
statutory
are
authority.
you saying,
And
Matt?
your rezoning will be based on facts
Well, what facts?
that you
heard my-
present.
You heard my intent. But the question is, do I invest or do I risk being stopped as I was on the park 6 different times? 6 different times by government. And I plowed through it. Very few people will plow through it. I plowed through it. Do I continue to invest, George Larger, Dave Cartmel, Victor McKay, Mayor Cotterill, in the Reed House? Would you like to see that as a property open to the public, perhaps as a tavern, perhaps as a bed and breakfast? Would you be open to that? Is my query tonight to this group, because you seem intent, Andrew Wood, on stopping things. Do you want people to invest in this community? You've already seen the investment. The place is fully tuck pointed. The new cedar shakes are in. It's all stabilized inside. I probably put $500,000 into it. Shall I continue, or tonight will you go on record to stop me? I want to know.
I would recommend that, I would have recommended before you put any money in it to seek the rezoning. first,
Absolutely.
So that you knew what
Thank you. I need to know that. So I need to seek the rezoning now and not invest another dime.
Yes.
Yes.
I recommend that.
What are my chances of getting approved?
I can't tell you that.
Why?
Because it involves a public hearing, and the public, all your
I
adjoining.
might be against it.
I'd have to put a sign on the property, I'd have to advertise in the Ledger Independent, and I'd have to send mail to all your adjoining property owners.
That's required by state law. That's required by state law that we do that.
The planning commission will listen to the
I
public.
can
will
stop
listen
if you make me stop.
Why
But
would
I'll
you-
do this. I'll do this. When do I apply for the zoning change?
You need to seek legal counsel to advise you how to follow the laws. I mean, these people aren't equipped to answer your questions.
Is it that complicated? I can't do it myself?
And I'm pretty sure I told
Kelly, I can't do it myself?
You can read the law if you can understand it and
It should
follow
be easy
it.
to understand. Is it that complicated?
Are you the fee simple owner of the property?
Yes, I am.
You can't apply yourself.
I'll do
I
it
would
myself.
recommend you have
We
legal
shouldn't live in
counsel.
such a complicated world that I have to hire an attorney to do the right thing.
Well, you're trying to change the law, changing the zoning classification is changing the law.
Correct.
So.
So
hiring
I have very little chance of success.
Why are you?
No, I'm wanting,
You're trying to
no,
place
I'm
words
wanting
in
to
our mouth.
find out what this city is all about. That's the purpose of this meeting.
Isn't it worth the hearing? Isn't it worth a grind and then go on the hearing?
I'm
It's
ready,
free.
I'm ready if the city wants to stop it. I'm ready to deal with that.
I can't address what happened before, but I can tell you.
It did happen, Mayor
I
Cotterill.
know,
It did
I
happen.
can't,
And
but
I
I
plowed
can't
through
fix
it.
that.
And that's why you have a lit up park, beautiful at night,
which I just
Because I
commented
did
on.
not give in. You did not break my spirit. I kept going.
But I can tell you that in the work that I have done, sir, in the work that I've done since I've been here, I have not seen that behavior that you're referring to.
It actually happened to me.
I know, but I'm
I
saying,
can document
and
it all.
recently, I can't go back and fix that, but we can be different going forward.
I hope so.
And
That's
I haven't.
That's my purpose of being here. You know what? Because if I don't stand up here at age 70, doing this work, nobody's gonna follow. They're all gonna, it's difficult to do development. It's difficult to plow through the powers that be. If I can't do it, it ain't going to happen.
And I think what they're saying is, make us a partner in those efforts in going forward. Don't come on the back end and ask us then to fix something. Be a partner with us, let us know up front. And it's the same for Clay. I've known Clay for years and years. And,
I'm wondering why he said that to me. I just took it face value. I'm sorry.
well, I think it's
Sorry.
probably some kind of misunderstanding.
Apologize to the.
No, Mr. Carlson, I think it's more of a misunderstanding. I don't think Clay would.
I felt bad
mislead
because I felt like
anything.
his spirit was broken. I felt like his
And
spirit was broken.
I will go home and call him.
And I will too,
Will
cause I
you?
know, I'll call him. 'cause
And maybe
I
he's
knew
done.
nothing
He's
about it.
he's somewhat, he's older than I am.
I'm for opening this city up and letting it shine, and I appreciate all that you've done.
Two more things, real quickly. Cars parked on Edgemont. I'm building a trail system downtown. And it's all mulched. It goes from Edgemont all the way down to 4th Street. And I need to connect from Skyline to Edgemont. There's a little property there, I talked to Matt about it, that I believe is part of the original Reed estate that I bought all the remaining land, including the Reed house and the downhill portion. Now, I'm going public with this. I had a private meeting with Matt. But it may be that that has never been dealt with by the city. It's a leftover piece of the Reed property. I thought I bought it all, but maybe I don't own it. I came to you and met with you on it. I don't want a special deal, but I want to build my path through that property. I bought a strip from Alice Jones to get to Skyline to Edgemont, but I need more land, and the out-of-town, I think Georgetown owner, who has Mexicans or, I don't know, maybe they're Indians or people living there, multiple cars parked in, as many as 5, next to Alice Jones. And on the other side is Mary Jefferson Cooper Huey. On the other side, that's the property in between. There's always 2 cars parked there. There's a picture right here, there's 2 cars. They're parked there. Alice Jones fell and broke her neck. Didn't get paralyzed, is in the hospital right now. And I was told by her daughter that she was just upset, tripped on a carpet in her house. Just so annoyed by those cars parking. The city has allowed those cars to park there. On Edgemont. Tires on Edgemont, tires on their property. They're not even on their property. They're on this no man's land, which I think I own.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, let me show you a picture.
Hey,
Let me show you a
just
picture.
call 9411 and we'll send an officer over. I have no idea what you're talking about. So you can't berate me for something that has not been reported.
Pass this over to that gentleman, please. Can
Sir,
you come over and get this?
Call 9411 and have an officer. I don't need the photo. Call
Well, I came
911,
here
give the
because
address.
apparently nobody drives Edgemont, but those 2 cars are parked in front of that house on Edgemont constantly. There's as many as 5 cars parked there by renters that annoy all the drivers on Edgemont, and Alice Jones.
I find it hard to believe that you got the former prosecutor of the Commonwealth of Kentucky in here in Mason, Kay Henderson up there, and nobody's calling.
It's a big picture. Of it.
Nobody's calling the
They're
law.
always there. They're always there.
Why have you not
Permanently.
Do they live on?
That's why I'm here.
Address it.
I put up with it long enough. That's why I'm here.
Well, evidently, they're still
Get
putting up
those
with it.
cars off of that street so I can build my trail system right through to there, and it'll look beautiful.
So where do they live?
They live right there, between Alice Jones and Mary Huey,
Okay.
right there. See
And
it?
they're parking on the
See it?
street?
They're
That's where
parking, they're four wheels are on the street, and they're not even on their own property. There's an iron pin in the ground where their property ends, surveyed by me. They're completely on what I consider to be my own property, purchased from the real estate.
If they're on your
If they're on
property,
your
you
property,
call
don't have them towed.
call
But
them
that,
out.
I don't know if for sure that's my property. I
Call them
bought the
out.
remainder of the real estate. This is a no man's land left over from the real estate, and I'm hoping I own it, but I'm willing to pay the city for it. Does this annoy you, Dave? I know
No.
you're kind of tapping away.
Oh, no.
Are you okay with
He has
you
nothing to
okay
do
with the
it.
trail system
That
and
is
everything
not-
we're
that
doing?
is something you should be talking to me about, sir.
I don't even know you. I can't talk to you. I don't know you.
Well, maybe
He's the
you
chief
can come
of
to the police
police.
department and come see me, and I'd be more than happy to sit and talk to you. But you berating us about this is not the appropriate way to do it.
I think
I
it
can
is.
assure,
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's
It's
not.
I'm
wrong.
not used to it, but
No.
these cars are there, and you haven't done a thing about it.
You have not let me know
Continuously.
until this
Is it
evening,
my
Mr.
job?
Carlson.
Is it my job to do your
Is it
job?
your neighborhood, sir?
It is.
Then pick up the phone and make a phone call. How hard is that, sir?
Is that how it works?
There's many neighbors over there,
So
nobody
we have
else
to
is calling.
defend
I think
ourselves.
we're
It's
done
up
here.
to us, you're
I think we're
saying.
done.
Sir, and here's the thing, your 3 minutes are up, it's time for you to go, sir. Let's go.
Okay.
We're done. I think
I'm
we're
gone.
done here.
I'm gone. I'm
Let's
gone.
go into closed
Sorry
session.
about this.
Closed session, and did we have a full vote?
No. Commissioner McKay, closed session.
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Cottrell.
I make another motion that we stay in closed session until tomorrow.
Let's go. I just need Kelly and David, everybody else, you can go home. We won't be very long.
I need a motion. I'll make that motion. I'm gonna run. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Cartwell,
Here, goodness.
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner McKay,
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Cottrell.
Yes, ma'am. I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Brammer,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Cartwell,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner McKay,
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Cottrell.